Welcome back to Bearded Barbecue and Adventures, folks. Merry Christmas. What have we got going today? Looks like an 8-pound bone-in pork shoulder. Let's get cooking. Getting it out of the package, you can see that it is a beautiful piece of meat with a lot of good marbling. I am going to go through and trim off some of this extra skin and stuff that's just going to burn up to a crisp. And then I'm going to do something different that I've never done before, smoking a pork butt. That's it. You guys can see it. I scored the pork butt. We're going to cook it fat side up. Why? As you guys probably know, there are a couple of ways to smoke a pork butt, and one of the ways is like I normally do it when you do the fat side down. I put it in a pan, I let that fat render down, it creates juices in the bottom of the pan, then once I cover it towards the end of the cook, that steam kind of comes back up through the meat and it helps make it tender. But now with this way, you're scoring it, you're allowing more seasoning to get in with the score marks. You're gonna get a nice crispy added bunch of flavor when this thing is all said and done, and as the fat renders down, it's going to base that meat and still make it tender and juicy. So let's get this thing seasoned up and see what it looks like, and then we'll get it on the pit. We've got the pork butt all seasoned up. I used a mix of two different seasonings. I used about 2/3 of this stuff, which is the True Texas Barbecue Sweet Texas Heat Rub, and then 1/3 of it I used a mixture of the Morton Seasonal, which gives it a good little flavor. Now, as you can see, the fat side is up right now. The score marks have all but disappeared, but they will open up almost like a blooming onion whenever we start the cook. So I am excited about that. Now, before I applied the seasoning, I used yellow mustard as a binder because, especially on the fat cap, you want that seasoning to stick. And then once you've handled the meat a couple of times after you get on the grill, you may have to dust a little bit more seasoning over it again for any spots that have rubbed off. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and get the grill going and get this puppy put on there. Today, we're using the Kamado Joe. I've got classic Kingsford briquettes in there because I didn't want to fight the Christmas traffic to get some lump charcoal. It's what I normally cook with on this, but that's okay. And we've also got some hickory chunks in there for some added smoke flavor. So let's go ahead and get this puppy fired up and get that pork butt on. Ooh, ain't pretty. We've got it on the grill, and if you've seen my video before on pork butt, you know I tend to cook them a little bit hot and fast. I usually cook the pork butt around 300 degrees, between 275 and 300, and it'll go for probably 5, 6 hours, something like that. Now, as far as when to wrap it, I kind of go based off of bark, so I can't give you a real time frame, but I'll bring you guys with me when we go to check in on it and let you know about how long it's been whenever we do finally cover it based on the condition of the bark. See you guys in a minute. All right, let's take a look and see what this bark looks like. Ooh, yeah. Now, you can see some of the score marks, but they didn't bloom as much as I thought they would. And I attribute that to not scoring it as deep as I should have. But that's what backyard barbecue is all about. You live and you learn, right? So now we're going to go ahead and take this. I've got the bark the color that I want, and we're going to wrap it up here. And we're going to let that continue to cook. All right, we'll check on it a little bit. All right, y'all. I believe we're at that time where we're going to do the probe test and the temp check. So, ooh, that went in very little resistance. We're at 2:0. Oh gosh, that was like no resistance at all. So what we're looking for is about 200 all the way around, a little bit more, just depending on the part where you're at. And this is ready to come up. All right, we've got it off the pit. I transferred it into a cleaner pan because there's gonna be a little bit of au jus in there. Now, one of the things to make note of is I did not inject this pork this time. I just scored the top. And next time I'll know to score it a little bit more. You see it up there, but the true test is, can you take it and can you shred the pork with just your bare hands and pull that bone out clean? And I think we passed the test. So we're gonna go ahead and get this shredded up the rest of the way and get some sandwiches made. Now it is time for the taste test. Guys, that is spot. Now, you have to decide. You're gonna cook fat cap up like we did today, scoring it, or you're gonna cook fat cap down. I'm sorry, every time I shake my head, all I can hear is the bells. So Merry Christmas, y'all. But long story short, didn't inject that. It still tasted good. It was tender, it was juicy, it was flavorful. If I had to say my preference, I think I'm going to continue to cook fat cat down. That seems to yield the best result for me. But overall, this is a win. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's time to eat, y'all. So please make sure if you like this video, if you like the content that I put out, you smash that like button, you smash that subscribe button so that you can see more, hit the bell notification. You'll get notified every time I post a new video. With that being said, Merry Christmas to everybody, Happy New Year, and I will see you in 2025 behind the grill or behind the wheel.